Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Phil from Zaid Comics. I am the writer, co-creator of Magic Cop, which you can see back there, which is coming back after we ship our next book, The Lost Pages. The Lost Pages is dropping this fall, and yeah, if you guys haven't checked that out, we'll talk about that a little bit later, some updates. But today we're here to talk about an awesomely anticipated book, the Volume 2 of SOS coming out of Chimera. What is
Hey,
up, brother?
hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, always, man. Um, dude, the first installment of SOS, I didn't get a chance to grab when that campaign was up, but after that shipped, I was hearing, such great reviews from guys like Adam AF, and everyone saying how funny it is. Michael Beacon was saying how awesome it was that I went and the second campaign for Onslaught, which was kind of this side story in
Yeah.
the same realm, really was happy I was able to get that. So I got both of them. So I read the first one. I think it's on the shelf, bagged up, and the Onslaught I'm reading through right now. And guys, if you're in the chat and you haven't gotten this stuff, you have to. It's one of my favorite series coming out of CG right now. It stands up to the big guys, and it's a thick book. Chimera is always putting out this graphic novel size stuff like we do here at Zaid Comics, which I love. And it's funny, man. I think for me, humor is hard to write, and looking through this stuff, it's really inspiring. The banter between characters, it's so much fun, and I can't wait to finish this one because this one's goes into the kind of like the backstory of the vigilante, and it's awesome. The first SOS to me was kind of a like when I was talking to you, you're like, oh yeah, I'm really influenced by like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, stuff like that. And I could see like kind of like Venture Brothers stuff in here also. But
Yeah.
it's especially the first volume, it has a very episodic, you know, um, quality to it, whereas you could have 2 pages where it's a scene and then you jump into a different scene, ends with a joke, then you jump into a different scene, which is really refreshing to all the comics that are out right now. Um, yeah, man. So you're doing the new one, and let's talk about it, man. I want to talk about these characters and kind of like writing that type of humor in an action comic. Like this thing, we're seeing monsters in here, especially in Onslaught. We get vampires as well, which
Yes.
I wasn't really expecting that. But I love it. I dig it because you didn't really talk about during your Onslaught campaign, like the other villains that are in there. I remember you talking about Pumpkin Face, which is freaking, he's awesome. And I remember you talking about that voodoo guy, which I'm like, oh, this guy's really cool. And then I'm like, oh shit, what happens to that guy? Um, that was I was caught off guard with that one. But
Yeah.
yeah, let's talk about it, brother.
Yeah. I think SOS was kind of a sleeper hit because I got a lot of good reviews when it started shipping
Yeah.
during the beer virus. I'm like, oh, okay, so this is actually good, so I'll continue it.
Hmm.
And it's episodic because I originally intended it to be a cartoon, and I kind of gave up on that when I went to college.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And I'm like, but I still wrote it, and so I'm like, I'll just have fun writing this, and I'll never make it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it turned out so well is because I didn't intend to make it ever.
Yeah.
And
That's hilarious.
it took me it took me years. Like you said, comedy is not easy to write. Like it's not. And so
Yes.
I just try to focus on the characters, their personalities. I try not to make them say funny things. I just try to have them have fleshed out personalities and just kind of have it flow.
Yeah. Here's I have right here is the first volume.
Yes.
Pulled it off the shelf. And as well with the first volume, the second volume has a cover by the same guy. What's his name?
Kim Jacinto.
Yeah, he I just saw he came out with some like Shang-Chi cover for Marvel, right?
Yeah, that looked really good.
Yeah, it looked awesome. Like, hey, I've seen this guy's stuff before, and it's on SOS. So that's really cool. But another great thing I love about this book, and what I assume you're doing for the second volume, is you do these interior covers for the chapters,
Yep.
which I love. Like, look at this stuff. Canalis's work, you don't get to see it colored a lot, but man, those interior covers are so cool. And like down the line, if you feel like you want to do like an Etsy store, you could sell them issue by issue if you were so inclined to, and they would look gorgeous. Look at that interior cover.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the second printing, so that's by Farah. She colored the interior covers.
yeah. Really, really badass. So we do that too with like when we did Magic Hop, we're doing the Lost pages. There's going to be a bunch of interior covers for each of those stories. So I really like that. And yeah, like you were saying, it's not so much the comedy aspect of over one-liners and stuff like that, but you're giving these characters personalities, and they're very, very fleshed out. And I could tell that they've been with you for a while. You've been working on these characters for a long time. There's three main characters, and they're brothers, correct?
Yes.
You want to go over them and kind of like their abilities because they each have kind of their own powers.
Yeah, so my favorite one is Megas, the oldest brother, the one in black trench coat.
Yeah.
He's sarcastic, I don't know, kind of a dick, but very dry humor. And his powers, they all have superhuman strength, speed, regeneration, kind of like Wolverine. They can regenerate. And
Yep.
his specific power is electrical manipulation. So I think that's electrokinesis. And then we have Robin in the red shirt. He's the youngest brother and kind of the surrogate audience. He is, yeah, basically he helps the audience like witness the insanity that goes on.
Yeah, he's like not always for it. He's like, oh, there's a scene in the first volume where Carnage and Magus are, they basically saved this. They killed a bunch of monsters in like a grocery store, and then they start looting the store. They just start like shopping and they're gonna steal it. And then Robin comes over. He's like, "We can't loot, we just clean this place up." So yeah, he's
Yeah,
like not on board with all that stuff.
yeah, that's it's one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah,
And we have Carnage, and yes, I can call him that. I was kind of looking into the legal aspect. I'm like, oh, I'll spell it with a K, but no,
yeah.
it's fine. As long as it's not the title of the series, you can name pretty much your character whatever you want. And so he is
He's
obviously mutated.
yeah,
So
he's
he
a
looks
freak.
like, yeah. I love that show, Gargoyles. And so that's why he
Oh
looks like
yeah,
that. God, I love that show. Funny
yeah.
enough, they all actually did look like monsters. They all had bald heads and pointy ears. But
Oh really?
yeah, when I started reading manga, I redesigned Magus because now he has spiky hair and he kind of looks like Alucard from Hellsing.
So this is another awesome thing is you had Bisley do the cover of Onslaught, so you could see Carnage right there and kind of a supporting character. We see the Brooklyn Vigilante in the first volume, a couple times. He's like the next door neighbor that doesn't want anything to do with these guys, right? In like a
Yeah,
sitcom.
yeah. Basically, it's Carl from Aqua Teen.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, good glimpse at Carnage there. And the thing I also like too, even though Volume One and these stories are in black and white, you could tell by the way that Canalis draws these characters what their different powers are.
Yeah,
So even though you have Carnage, he has ice powers, right? He can freeze things.
yeah,
Yeah, so you could tell that even though it's not colored blue, the way he freezes people, he's busting their heads open. Same thing with Magus, you could tell it's electricity and not fire. I think that's really important and something that I haven't read a lot of manga and stuff in black and white, so I didn't realize that's another obstacle you have to get over, where you have to, if someone's shooting some weird lasers or whatever, you don't have the luxury of having it in color. So the artist really has to convey what.
yeah,
All right, can you hear me now?
yeah. You kind of muted.
All right, hold on one second. See, this is the issue with this microphone. Here we go. All right, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, cool. Sorry. Yeah, so I think that's a really cool aspect that Canales is putting into this artwork. Another thing that I love is his demons that he does. We were on a stream a little while ago, and just these goofy little gremlin demons. I remember one in like the main one in that Magus kicks his ass. He like drops him off of a building.
Yeah.
Um, in the first volume, it was so like it had me reminiscing of like Tom McFarlane's Violator. So, yeah, these guys are really fun, and there's so much character in the drawings. So, what's the little adventure we're going on with the boys this time in volume two?
Yeah, basically they encounter grays, or at least, yeah, grays, gray aliens. And I know that's like similar to abductables, but I wrote that in like 2011. So, um, yeah, they deal with grays, and then in the last two issues of this graphic novel, they get taken to a planet uh, called Ventron, and they basically have to fight to the death. You know, like Mongol from Justice League.
Yeah, like planet, like the War Planet, right?
Yeah,
Mongol.
War World. That's it. God, I love that episode. And yeah, I just want to, and I love heavy metal, so I tried to make everything look different. So yeah, there's demons in the first volume, then there's just straight up aliens in the second volume.
Dude, that's crazy because like we had the demons in the first volume, and then I'm like, okay, this is these guys are demon hunters and stuff like that, big monsters. And then second volume, I'm like, whoa, there's like werewolves and vampires in here too. And then now we're going aliens. So the world that you're building is really vast in what these characters can go up against, and that's what I love, right? I love, especially from a writing standpoint, it's like the ultimate character is one that you can put in any situation and still be a super fun comic. That's why I like Mike Mignola with Hellboy.
Yes.
He saw that character as someone that you could just throw in any situation. He could be in World War II. He could be, fighting a Greek god, and still the character you could see him doing that. So that's what I really wanted to do with my character Wildcard for the Lost Pages. He's not dissimilar to, come to find out, Vigilante, where he's, been around for a really long time and has dealing with all this crap and all these monsters, and nothing really phases him anymore. Same
Yeah.
thing with like Hellboy. Like he's been around the block. This is just another day at the office.
Yeah, I would imagine if you're immortal, you'd probably be insane on some level or just numb to everything you encounter.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think that's the really cool thing about those characters is you have to find other weaknesses for them, you know, uh, and it's kind of a challenge. But for like wild cards, we'll see like as the series goes on, his is just like the memories that haunt him, right? And the ones he couldn't save, stuff like that. Kind of like Highlander, you know?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
real funny because vigilante is like the only serious character, and everyone else is just like a complete asshole.
Yeah, that's cool. I love the back and forth between everyone. And we're gonna see more of Vigilante in this book.
Yeah, he's not in the first issue, but in the last two issues, because the graphic novel's like three issues put together. He goes to the planet with Peter, and he basically helps the brothers escape. And he has more lines. And if you see in the front cover, he's actually in the background.
Dude,
So,
I did notice that before we jumped on here. I'm like, hey, who's that? I know that guy.
yeah,
Yeah, let's zoom in on that guy. So here he is in the background there.
yeah. And I try to drop in little Lovecraft references. So Peter, his name, the little scientist, he's actually designed after Herbert West, that Reanimator movie back in 1985.
Yeah. I forgot about him too. He's like their Q almost, right?
Yeah, and I think it was Jeffrey Combs who played him. So he kind of looks like Jeffrey Combs, who also played the Question, I think, in Justice League Unlimited.
Oh, dude, what a great character, and he was such a star in that show. I'm a huge Justice League fan. Justice League Unlimited. Grew up with that stuff. You and I are very close in age, so
Yeah,
that stuff like had such influences on me. Unlimited just blew it out of the water with just bringing all those characters in, and that's kind of like a lot of me having to do with like loving comics for sure is that show. So
Yeah, I'm really excited for DC in the future because they're just gonna
yeah.
shit on Marvel.
Yeah, dude, that Black Adam movie looks awesome. The thing with that too is like them saying that the JSA is gonna be in it. Doctor Fate, man, I've been wanting Doctor Fate to be in a movie, played by Oded, the guy who did his voice in the cartoon, because
Yeah,
he's such a badass actor, but his voice is so iconic in that role from that show. Like, I hope they do that.
well, plus it makes sense because he's like Israeli or something, so he looks the part.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that would be sick. Hawkman's gonna be in it. I liked Shazam. I thought that was a fun movie, and
Yeah,
to see those two worlds of like Black Adams and Shazam down the line colliding, that's gonna be super fun.
yeah. See, I liked Shazam because they didn't like felt like a family film, but they didn't force the humor. Like in Marvel, there's a joke every 5 minutes. I fucking hate that. In Shazam,
Yeah,
the humor flowed.
yeah, for sure. There were some awesome iconic moments in that. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I thought it was great, and he's one of my favorite characters, Shazam, Captain Marvel. Kick-ass. Yeah, so what I really wanted to talk about also is we're getting an ash can with this. If you guys do want to get the ash can, and here's that cover. Now this is this is Matt Weldon, right?
Yep.
This is one of my favorite Matt Weldon covers. It's awesome and leaves so much on the table of like who these guys are. I recognize. Is this the guy with the chainsaw?
Yeah, that's the Brooklyn
Yeah.
Butcher.
Recognize him. Here's Bizarro Carnage.
Yep.
We got Joseph Mangala. And now have we seen this Skull guy?
No, but he's actually the first villain I ever created.
Oh, cool. And I don't recognize this metal guy, or did we see the priest? I,
No.
okay, and we don't know these four guys yet. You want to talk about them? Because I'm really interested in these guys.
Sure. So the robot bird is Ultra Bird, and he gets a 3-page story by Joe Ball. That's pretty funny, actually. It's not anything serious. But what I wanted to do was make up supervillains. So yeah, they're demon hunters, but they also encounter aliens, robots, and they have like their own rogues gallery of supervillains.
Dude, that's so much fun. What about the priest guy?
Yeah, I almost forgot about him. I think he was like one of the last characters I made up. I think I made up in 2006, and he basically tried to kill the brothers with like a magical revolver. And so I kind of made that story canon in this. He references that,
Yeah.
and the running joke is none of my characters remember any of their villains. So they're like, "Okay, who are you?"
Yeah, I love that. Especially about like Mangala. He's so. I mean, this character reminds me of what's his name? Killface from Frisky Dingo. Do you remember that show?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So I'm like, this is awesome. Like he looks like and dude, it has that same humor. I love Frisky Dingo, all that Adult Swim stuff. My brother was a huge fan of that, and I'm like, oh, he should be reading this because it's so fun. And of course the little alien guy, he's a new character that we'll be seeing. Does he have a name?
yeah, Spike.
Spike, awesome. That's so cool. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. Definitely gonna pick up that Ashcan. You guys should
Nice.
too, for this cover alone. And dude, I love what you're doing. You're building something really big, and I see a lot of what you're doing in the similarities of what I'm trying to do with the Lost pages, especially with like the short stories you're doing in the Ashcan, like 3 pages, 4 pages.
Yep.
And we've talked about this before, but like when um I got really big into Hellboy when Mike Mignola was doing Hellboy at first, he would do like these short ash cans for cons, or like these 2 page stories that were just gags. Like I don't know if you've read the Pancakes one where Hellboy is like a little kid in hell,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's hilarious. And stuff like that is really fun for exercising your writing muscles. And then, seeing it being like, oh, this is just 2 pages. This is so cool, and you get like the personality of characters, and specifically for like the stuff you're doing here, where your personality building and character building, it's perfect, man. I love it.
Yeah, I think after the 3 volumes, that's how I'll probably continue the series. It's just
Yeah.
side stories.
No, that's fun, dude. That's our whole bonus comment for the Lost Pages. But this is Kane and White, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, that's the bookmark if we hit 4 grand, which we're probably going to. And prints by 6 a.m. at 5 grand, and at 6 grand, everybody gets the Andrew Huerta card of Megas.
Dude, look at that. That is kick-ass. Andrew Huerta always kills it on his work. This is so cool.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. He added the like Olmec statue in the background.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, it might have made that Nickelodeon show, searching for whatever Olmec something. I don't know.
Oh, I don't remember that. Maybe before my time. Chimera. Chimera, you're a very mysterious character. You know that? So over here in the Chicagoland area, actually by where I work, there was a comic store called Chimera Comics,
Yeah,
and they'd like published one comic. Um, yeah. So
I think his name. I think the guy's name is actually Chimera, so it's like chimeras with an apostrophe s.
yeah, it's his last name. He's so his story about him is like the business wasn't doing well, so he's like, I have an idea how to get out of this business. I'm going to Willy Wonka style golden ticket give away the store for someone who wants it. So
Hmm.
he like did this contest. It's like write in a 1,000-word essay about why you want to own and run a comic shop, and then whoever wins, I'll give the comic shop to. So and then my brother and I are like, wait, and the guy's like a lawyer too.
Oh,
And he's like, we're like, wait, isn't he just trying to get like out of the taxes of paying for this comic shop? I don't think it went anywhere. I don't think he actually did it, but it was like a big campaign he was doing on Facebook.
wow.
Yeah. So that was weird. Comic shop, I had some issues with it. I went there, they didn't have bags and boards, and it's a comic shop, so but whatever. So this is the Chimera comics that I'm all about.
Yeah, I originally didn't intend for it to be my pen name, but I preferred not to use my real name.
Why is that?
I'm mysterious, like you said.
It's true. Good answer. Yeah, guys. So check this out. I want to scroll down and look at. Were those all of your stretch goals to the bookmark, or
Yeah,
sorry, to the trading card?
yeah, and then at 10 grand, I'll throw in a supplemental book. Comic is just 24 pages.
Damn, dude, that's awesome. Dude, I love because like you and I are just throwing a bunch of crap that probably we could do in other campaigns, but it's like I'm so excited and want these stories out to the people that it's like I don't want to like split it up into multiple campaigns because I have so much other stuff that I want to do. But like yeah, I mean it's so cool that you have this material and you're putting out this stuff. Now you're also like it's not going to end here like you said. You have other volumes you want to do, right? For SOS?
Yeah, I want to do a spin-off with Carnage and Vigilante again, but more in a comedic light.
Sweet. And like we said, Canales is coming back. You had a different artist for Onslaught. Was there a reason for that, or was it like just you wanted a different style, or Canales was too busy? Because I know Canales is a busy lad.
Actually, both.
Yeah.
Because it is a bit more serious. I mean, there is comedy in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the freaking pumpkin face, such a cool character. I want to show. I mean, I'm sure people have seen him for the other campaign, but in the book, this guy is just a freak, and he's even like more horrific than anyone like Jigsaw from the Punisher. Like the guy doesn't have a nose, and it's like, oh, I don't want to look at that. It's freaky, man.
Originally, he was supposed to have like stitches or whatever in the form of a pumpkin smile, and Raphael just carved down his face.
Yeah, that worked as well. I love the fact If you guys haven't gotten the first volume, you haven't gotten Onslaught, those two are available on here as well, right?
Just volume one, and
Just volume one.
I'll put,
Oh,
probably put Onslaught on Etsy next month.
oh, awesome. Yeah. So stay tuned to that. Follow this guy on social media because Onslaught, the concept of it, where it's like all these different kind of like hitmen coming after the two guys, is really cool. You get to see a lot of creative designs with that as well.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun writing the Countess. She's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, she's insane. I just ended the issue where someone gets lit on fire. So
Yeah, that's her.
yeah, that one's awesome. I didn't want to spoil it for people. Okay.
She's basically a psycho ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, I love that. It's so cool. All right, guys. Yeah, so check this out. I would suggest getting the featured tier. Comes with the volume one, volume two, and the ash can. So you're gonna get some awesome work by guys like Joe Ball in the ash can. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And yeah, anything else you want to say specifically about this?
Yeah, I'll probably add in an 8 grand stretch goal, and so we'll add more pages to the ash can.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, all this stuff is being written by Chimera, and drawn by some awesome artists like Canales, Joe Ball. And if you guys are about that original art, definitely hit up the head sketch tier. What does that all come with?
Yeah, you get volume two with the inside front cover, a head sketch of Magus,
Nice,
and you can pick up volume one in the ash can as add-ons.
sweet. That is that's awesome. Yeah, add-ons are perfect. Yeah, if you guys are backing this and you are going to check out, definitely check out the add-on section before you purchase it to see what else you could throw on there. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's see who's in the chat here. We got Chris Evans, Kino Subway. Frisky Dingo was a great show. Yeah, it was. The Ace is here as well. Edwin the Ace. J Money was here in a little bit. He said, "Oh boy." I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You never know with J Money. You never know. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell for notifications so you know when we're going live. And then before we cut out, Chimera, if you'll let me do a little Lost Pages updates, I would like to
Yes.
talk about that for a little bit. Let's see here, the Lost Pages. Yeah, so we are on the verge of breaking that 26,000 mark, and everything's going crazy smooth. Actually, I just got a sample of the colors for this Joe Ball piece. I actually might want to give a little sneak peek to that. What do you think, Camaro?
God damn, that's a good cover. So many characters.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy how it was just originally it was gonna be Krim, the big guy, and then like the main guy. So Krim, Wild Card, the Silhouette, uh, and the Masquerade up here. And then I'm like, oh, we got the bonus comic thing, and he's like, oh, let me do like the people up here, and then we just started adding everybody. So this is all the characters in both the regular book and the bonus comic. And check out these colors, dude. I literally got these in today. So check this out.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So this is an exclusive. I think I'll be posting this up on Twitter today to show everybody this off. I mean, it's mind blowing. This is Adam Brown, colorist, who does a lot of work for Simon Bisley and Glenn Fabry. So you'll see him, 2000 AD stuff, does IDW stuff, and he was so he was so into these characters. He's like, I got an illustration idea for this character down here, Matt Black, who's our last character in the bonus comic, and he like ran it past me. I'm like, yeah, let's do it for the trading card. So he will be doing the illustration for the trading card for Matt Black. So we'll be getting that in a couple weeks. Yeah, it's screaming on by. It's really fun seeing all this stuff come together.
How long have you been working on this?
So with these characters, man, the silhouette. Let me show you this. I don't know if you've seen this in our streams, but We actually, back in 2014, we put this out. This was the second issue of the Silhouette. So we've had these characters since like, man, 2010, 2011, when I was graduating you know, high school. But this
Wow.
was pictures and photographs of me and my friends in front of a green screen, and then my brother would Photoshop it to make it look like a comic. So I was much worse of a writer back then.
Yeah.
So the silhouette has changed a lot over the years. But this is what started it, the silhouette just branching off into a bunch of different characters. Like Wildcard was from back then. Matt Black was actually the second character. She was a character that didn't really know her powers and was seeking out the silhouette to go find out how to use them. The Masquerade, the Pianist. The newest ones are Vane, which he's like we. I came up with him last year while I was working on Magic Cop.
Hmm.
Um, and then I'd say the People, but the People is probably still years ago with ideas. But yeah, it's the same thing as like SOS, man. We've been, these characters have been in our heads for a long time. And same thing with me throughout college. I was actually writing stories about the silhouette in college, just in short story form.
Hmm.
In fact, the story that's going to be in the main book for the silhouette was a short story that I adapted to a comic. Um, so that's why it's a lot of inner monologue and him like how he feels about the city and stuff like that. But yeah, it's awesome to see this stuff come together. It's crazy.
Yeah. I was trying to think back. I have to write all this shit down so I remember. But I'm pretty sure I came up with the characters like in my head around 2003, 2004, and I started writing it in 2005.
Wow, that's you were young, dude. We were both young. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was. It was mostly just daydreaming.
Oh yeah, for sure. Same with me, man. Like I was just daydreaming, like sitting in the pool or driving in the back seat of my parents' car, just thinking about this stuff and scenes, like really cool moments. And it's insane that we're actually putting this stuff out. It's really cool, and you know, have to thank the backers for that because they make it happen. I threw up some new images here on the page. We have this is a slice out of the silhouette interior cover, really cool by Maxi Dallo. The this Joe Ball cover he sent to me. Oh, it's so cool. Like his stuff makes me want to put out a line art variant where it's just black and white
Yeah,
because it's so rad.
yeah. I haven't decided if the Joe Ball chapter will be in black and white or color because
Yeah,
they work both ways.
right, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And then another piece I posted up that's new is this one colored, The Masquerade. That story came out really cool. And then
I
the
think I know who that cover is by. He knows Kim Jacinto.
oh really?
Yeah, we were talking about him.
Yeah, I'm friends with him on Facebook, and he was sharing Kim's stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Brian is awesome. He's from the Philippines.
yeah. Same as
Really cool.
Jacinto.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I was gonna use him for the main story, for the Masquerade, because this was done while we were working on Magic Cop as well. So he did this 4-page short story for me about the Masquerade, and got really busy with school, and he was doing a lot of samples for Marvel, trying to get in there. Probably because he's friends with Kim, and
Yep.
so we weren't able to do anything else. But I found Alan, and Alan knocked it out of the park. But we just got the colors on this. Avery killed it. The colorist Avery Butterworth did a really good job. Yeah, they kind of have the similar style with like it's a mixture between manga. They do a lot of speed lines, stretching limbs, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of animation. And then Kyung Lee
Fuck
did
yeah.
cover for the Drift Legend. So
How
that's
old is
getting
that character?
this one. How old is this one?
Yeah.
He goes way back too for the original one. So I had a buddy, or I still have a buddy, who I work for an arcade, and he would come into the arcade, and we were always playing Street Fighter, the new Street Fighter 4 at the time, and he was teaching me how to play that. And his Xbox name was Drift Legend, and I'm like, if you we're doing this comic thing. I'm like, if you had a character in it, what would the character be? And he's like, oh, dude, it would be Drift Legend. And he's like, you could use that. And I'm like, dude, that's awesome. So he kind of helped me, gave me the ideas to develop this character. And it's kind of like dedicated to him because a lot of the scenes and stuff, and he was into martial arts too, so he would do a lot of Wing Chun, and he's like, yeah, they do this, these different techniques and stuff. So we put some of that into this comic in honor of him. And he was just in my office yesterday to come visit, and he's like, oh, how's Drift Legend coming? And I showed him because the story's done. We just need to get the cover colored, and the rest of them's going to be like manga style.
Mhm.
He's like, dude, this is crazy. Like, you put all this stuff in there. I'm like, yeah, man. So he was really happy with that. So he was probably around the same time, probably like 2012 as well. We just hadn't fleshed anything out with him. Like, this is the first story I ever wrote for the character. Um, so it was awesome finally getting to do this. And here he is too, walking out of the burning rubber smoke. So
That's
yeah,
fun. Well, that's funny you mentioned the gamer tag, or because
yeah.
my gamer tag for Xbox and for PlayStation is Magus93.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. That's cool. Yeah, we're all came from that gaming area for sure. Yeah, so everybody check out the Lost pages. We're gonna be showing a lot of cool stuff today. I think I'm gonna post up that double page spread, the wraparound cover for the bonus comic. And if you haven't yet backed, definitely pick up that bonus comic tier because you're gonna regret seeing all the first appearances of these badass characters.
Yeah, I think I got that too.
Yeah, I think you did also. Um,
God damn, that just looks so good, black and white by itself.
Yeah, I know, dude. Oh, dude, he sent me the frickin' pages too. Because he sent me the package, Joe, with a
Oh,
bunch of art, and then I, turned a page. I'm like, holy crap, he sent, this thing, which it's sold. I got to send it out, but just seeing it in front of me, because you don't realize when you're looking at this piece that it's two 11 by 17 pages. It's like, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, Joe's killing it. I can't wait to see what he's doing. What he's gonna be doing for you, man. That's gonna be so cool.
he did a piece for me. I'll probably add it as a stretch goal,
Nice.
and I'll probably have it colored.
Yeah.
And it'll just be a free print.
For sure, yeah, I'm excited about that. Yeah, guys, get on SOS. It is super fun, and I can't wait to see where the series goes. I think Chimera is a top writer in CG, man.
Oh wow.
He's got the action down, the pacing, the laughs too. I think he does some funny stuff like no one else does right now in comics. Until I see Kami Mark, I think I backed his Korea book. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm excited for that. And the stuff he's doing with he's launching that Not Daredevil book soon.
Oh, oh yeah.
I
Isn't that what he? That's his first appearance.
yeah, that was the first thing anybody really knew him from. And he sent me a PDF of that a long time ago, and that stuff's just fucking hilarious. So he's a really funny guy too. But yeah, I've definitely taken some tips from these guys, learning how to do comedy and comics. So pay attention to this and back it, share it out, everybody. Chimera, where could people find you if they want to, see some new stuff from you?
Yeah, just Chimera the Hut on Twitter, and I'll probably be putting up an Etsy store next month.
Sweet. That's awesome. Yeah, Ace says Chimera's a
Thanks.
dope writer. Looking forward to volume 2. Yeah,
Thanks.
and speaking of Etsy stores, we here at Zaid Comics have an Etsy store. If you guys, oh, where is it? Here it is. If you guys haven't checked it out, please do so. The link is in the description below. We sell shirts and stuff like that on the Etsy store for us as well as other CG creators. We got Cybershock shirt, Seven Legions from Michael Beacon, Blood Hunt. We got some Ace merchandise too. Ace is going to be launching his book soon. He just announced that. And you can get the beautiful, as well as Magic Cop shirts. You can get the Bisley cover for the Lost Pages as a shirt. And it's not just a rectangle. My brother cut it in a little bit, so it's got some cool style to it. So it flows with the art of the shirt. So check that out if you guys want to support us and some awesome creators. It does help everybody else. And hopefully we could expand, get some more creators on there. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. And Chimera, thanks for hopping on and talking with me for a little bit.
No problem. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me.
Yeah. Everybody like, subscribe, and share this out so other people could see it. We will see you